Okay, yeah, that's silly. It's just that, you guys know about it. I put myself in a stupid situation professionally maybe a couple months ago. I said yes to too many projects in a row and, accounting for, it was way more than I could handle. And, because I was, what's the word for it? I acted on an impulse, I got excited about stuff. I was getting to a new phase professionally of my life who's my business partner. And like we started saying yes, a lot of shit. And then I got, oh my God, I can't handle all this crap. And now a lot of people are depending on me. And that brought me back to smoking cigarettes. And it's fucking hard to quit because I smoked a lot in the past. So I have, I really have a nicotine addiction. And when you try to quit, like if you just smoke a few cigarettes, you probably won't feel anything. But once you have, real chemical addiction, your body goes like, ah, you motherfucker, you don't, smoke some more, and I get very irritated, very anxious, just completely, my head fills up with schmutz and I can't think straight. And I feel like it's a trap because, if I choose, let's say I'll quit tomorrow, but I know it will hurt my productivity, and I'm like always trying to, perform very well. I'm also very perfectionist, so if I quit smoking it, for about a week, I will be, performing a little worse than do normally, and that will make me anxious, make me feel like smoking again. So I feel like, how the fuck do I get out of this mess, and it's just so stupid to get back into smoking, but it happens just so it sort of slide in, just you're talking about. I think it's like that too, as you're saying. It just sort of, it's started sliding into that, and just denying that was happening. It all started when I started pulling all-nighters. Like,
so let's pause for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, and let's examine sliding in, because we don't slide into drugs or cigarettes. We don't, and we're going to put cigarettes as drug because it's a drug, right? So we don't slide into it. If we have not, how long have you not smoked for?
Sorry?
How long has it been since you smoked prior to picking up the cigarettes recently? How long have you been clean?
I don't know, months. 4 months.
Okay, so you were clean for 3 or 4 months, right? So you didn't slide into taking that first cigarette. Did you?
No. I
Yeah.
know what I mean. It's like,
No. Because you're an addict. You're chemically addicted. So just so we can really ground in truth, yes? Because if you don't speak the truth, you're going to con yourself into, excuse me a second. You're going to con yourself into believing that you slid into something when you did not slide into anything. You made a conscious choice to pick up that first cigarette.
I made a conscious, very stupid choice. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and again, you don't have to label it. You don't need to call it stupid. You don't need to look yourself clean. That's not. You fell off the wagon. Stop making yourself wrong. Stop beating yourself up. That's not going to serve. Stop telling stories about, now I'm stuck and da-da-da-da, and if I'm going to quit, then my work is going to diminish and I'm going to be agitated. These are all stories. What's true? You started smoking again. Yes?
Yep.
Okay, what do you want to do about it? Do you want to quit or not?
Yeah, definitely.
You definitely want to quit? What are you willing to do to quit? What are you willing to do to quit?
Well, anything.
So, what does it mean?
I don't know, it means I should try to quit right away.
Well, there's no try. So it's a choice. And how did you end up quitting last time? What worked for you?
I went through this process. You know the story about Greek hero Ulysses? He came back from the war of Troy and just strapped himself to the boat.
Yes.
Because of
the women.
And the women, and so it's like I put myself in a situation, that I had surgery, and I said, I'm going to use this moment to also, quit smoking. And it's a lot easier if I don't work because I don't get anxious and, I'm not worried about underperforming. But so that's what's worked for me the best.
Okay, so you create.
So what I mean is like I don't know what to do.
So you created an environment. You created an environment where the stress was lower from work anyway, and you kind of changed the conditions of your environment, which, by the way, is the best way to quit. Yes. However, that's not going to get you to stay quitting, as you could tell. Right?
Yeah.
So that is really one of the biggest problems with all these detox environments. They take the individual out of their environment and they put him somewhere else, and in that place, yes, they can quit. But then they go right back to their environment, so they're not going to quit. The challenge is to quit in my environment. In life as it is. That's where the challenge is if you want it to stick. So what would be a possible scenario that you can create in your environment, knowing your limitations and knowing your challenges, in your ability to quit here now while working, because life is work and you can't quit without working, not for a long time. So how do you quit with work?
I don't know, I would say suck it up.
Okay, yeah, suck it up is a word. Will it work?
I mean, I guess. Is there any other option?
No, yeah, there are many good options. So let's start with the most important. I mean, so you gave a process. You said, I know that if I quit, I get agitated. When I get agitated, I don't perform as well. Because I'm a perfectionist, it increases my stress, which then makes me function even less. And then I want to go to a cigarette in order to be able to do my work again. So you got to look this cycle. See, this is why it's so awesome to learn how we operate. When we understand how we operate, then we could potentially do things to intercept that operation, to intercept the mechanics. So the first mechanic is obviously diminishing your stress, because the stress is the predominant reason for your smoking. Yes?
Yeah,
all right.
That sounds like.
Okay, so first of all, what is, putting the cigarette aside right now, what is your stress level at this moment, work-wise?
Moderate, not very high.
Okay, so it's not terribly high. Yeah?
No, not really. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so if your stress level is not high, then your concern is, if I quit smoking, I will become agitated, which won't allow me to perform, and that will increase my stress level. All right, so what can be done about that?
Oh, I did a lot of research. There's some stuff that, chemically it helps. I don't know if that's what you mean, but
no, that's
it
not
does
what I
help
mean.
you.
No, I'm not going there.
Sorry?
No, that's not where I'm going.
Okay. Well, at least with my family, last time I quit, I tried to be open about it. I said, guys, I'll be a little bit more, impatient and maybe more. Everyone can notice when I'm quitting smoking, just like get very irritated very easily. So letting people know, it should help, but like even your family, they love you, but like people don't understand. So like if you tell people, okay, I'm gonna go through this week, we're gonna be like very easily pissed off. People just go like, yeah, okay, and then like they just forget, and you just I mean, it's not like they're obligated to try to help, but
no, but they are. But people in your world are And you want to have a conversation with them about that then. You want to have a conversation and not just like, hey, buds, I'm going to quit smoking, so could you please be more patient with me because I'll be agitated. You come in and you're saying, I'm chemically addicted. I'm chemically addicted and I fell off the wagon again. I'm really committed to getting, back on the wagon and really like making sure that I don't put toxicity in my body anymore. I really am committed to that. I need help. I need help. Can you help me? So you come in with a truth. I need help. Okay, what would be helpful? Well, first of all, can you relate to me really wanting to quit, and is that something that's important for you, that I would quit as well? Is it really important to you? Because I think what we'll need all our support and all our energies to help me go through this. And it probably won't be long, maybe a week, 10 days max. Can you be there for me in a way that you're not typically? Can you do your best? Can we maybe write a contract for the next 10 days? I will be more patient. Anchor them in that commitment that you have, so you all have the same commitment. And then you can go to what other field in your life can you do that with that causes you stress?
Sorry?
What other area in your life causes you stress? So there's the family. What other area?
Sometimes worrying about the future.
Well, but in your immediate, what did you say was one of your biggest concerns?
Okay. My immediate environment? Okay, yeah, David, probably.
Your work. Co-workers.
Work. That's
work. Okay then. So so you speak to the people that you work for, and you say, hey, buds, I'm really committed to quitting. This is what happens to me. Can you help me? We just have a real conversation with people that care about us and we're willing to be vulnerable with, and we're willing to enroll them in caring about us as much as they say they do, and we care about them. And asking for support for this period of time.
Yeah, I'm so worried. What if I enter a commitment, because I've done this before, like I told someone, I'm going to quit this time, and then someone's going to like, oh yeah, okay, cool, yeah, you're quitting. And then, 4 days in, some shit happens, I relapse, I was smoking another cigarette, and I'm like, oh, I feel so stupid because, I told so-and-so.
So what can you do when 4 days in, you really have the impulse to take another cigarette? What can you do? I mean, there is something that you have to do. You have to go to the store. You have to buy the cigarettes. You have to open this thing up. You have to take the cigarette out. You have to get a light. There's a lot of space between the impulse to I want to have a cigarette and actually getting it. What can you do in that space if you're committed?
Oh, it's easy to say, very hard to do.
It is.
I know.
It is, but it's that one cigarette. It's just
experience.
It's just that one cigarette, right? It's just that one cigarette. Is that so hard to do? Just that one cigarette? Just this one. I'm just not going to smoke this one. Just this one, I'm going to call somebody and ask for help. Just this one, I'll text somebody and ask for help.
Yeah, I never tried that.
Yeah, so that's the space. In that space, this one cigarette, it's only this one. There really is only this one that's between you and, falling off the wagon. Right? If you can prevent that one by reaching out and asking for help from whomever is around. And I know you have a very big support system. There are like 10 people here. And then you've got your family. So you should be able to reach one person.
It just feels, like it's like you're weak. You're like you're submitting yourself to your own weaknesses. Like
we're
very hard to come up to someone saying,
we're weak when it comes to our addictions. We're weak We are weak. It's a truth. Do you want to deny the truth and pretend you're not by what? Being weak? You'll continue being weak whether you admit it or not. Except when you admit it, then the likelihood of you not falling into your weakness is greater. Yeah, we are weak. Our addictions render us weak. That's what an addiction is. We are weak here. I mean, we're weak all the time. We're showing our weaknesses all the time. We are. Human beings are weak and strong and creative and destructive and good and bad and ugly. We're all of that. But weak in this area doesn't mean weak in my life. It's not an all or nothing. I'm weak around cigarettes. And I need support. I need each other's help. I need all of us to help me. Yeah. Why are you in this forum? Because we're weak. And nothing to be ashamed of. It's the truth. So we're not ashamed of being weak. We're not ashamed of being human. We're not going to pretend we're not what we really are. And we're not ashamed. There's nothing wrong with being human. And that's a human quality. Among many. And it's directed in a specific thing. It's not, I am weak. It's, I am weak around cigarette smoking because that's my addiction. And I could be okay with that. And it is what it is. So it comes back to self-acceptance.
Yeah, I think what makes it worse, sorry.
No, I just wanted to say it comes back to self-acceptance. It's accepting who we are. We, human beings, need to accept ourselves as we are and be okay with that.
I was just going to say, all propaganda and stuff, it's fucked up because, society makes it look like it's way worse than it is. It's like, it's not, like you're fucking outcast, you're fucking, subhuman shit that smokes. I know, so maybe it helps from keeping, children, that you have to be born from smoking, but at least here in Brazil, actually, it's one of the countries that have, one of the lowest indexes of, smokers. And you're just so people just, just look down on you. And I can't even imagine what it's like, for a hard drug user to get out of the crap. Because, you feel so weak, really, and you try to, at least that's how I responded, I believe.
Yeah, but it's about education.
You just try to deny that. You don't accept.
Yeah, but it's about education. Gabriel, it's about education. Everything we're talking about, society frowns upon. So it's about education. It's about us knowing what the real truth is. And the real truth is that cigarettes is probably the worst drug of all. In terms of addiction, it is the most difficult drug to get off. So when you say, can you imagine what it's like for hard drugs? Actually, cigarettes is more difficult to get off than any other drug. So just being with the truth, understanding that society has its opinions and belief systems based on the collective, programming that everybody got, but being able to take a step back and being honest with yourself and being real with yourself and being real with us and recognizing I am addicted to cigarettes. It's probably the worst drug to be addicted to and the most difficult to break from. And it is killing my health. And I don't want to be imprisoned by this drug, and it's going to take time and energy and effort. But I know it's in my best interest, and I care about myself. And I don't want to put this toxicity in my body. So either that lives inside of you from that organic truth, or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, you and I can work on it to help you to ground, just like we work with David, to ground in a truth. But to stop smoking cigarette because people are looking down at you, that's not good enough. You want to stop smoking cigarette because you know that it's toxic to your system. and you don't want to
No,
expose
what
it.
I mean is like it's to ask for help, the looking down.
Got it. Well, I know for a fact.
It gets in the way of asking for help.
I know for a fact that if you ask people for help, they're not going to look down. I know that for a fact. There is the looking down in the collective, in the mass production of opinions. But in one-on-one individual, if you say to anybody that knows you, but I'm addicted to cigarettes, and it's a chemical addiction. It takes me over, especially when I have stress. I really need some support. Would you be there for me? Is the person going to say, "Oh, you're an idiot," or "You're stupid," or "Oh, come on, stop being so weak because you're being vulnerable"? I don't think so. And if they are, get rid of that person.
It's a good litmus test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's easy to say, but I'm just afraid to look weak. And also, there's people that look up to me because I'm, just being afraid of looking weak. And
Again, I wanna make a point of how it's an all or nothing kind of that the ego does, right? Like, I'm afraid of looking weak, as if my weakness in cigarettes is a reflection of my weakness in every aspect of my life. And this is where you have to make that distinction for yourself. A weakness in some area doesn't mean that I'm a weak in everything else. Or a weakness in 5 areas doesn't mean I'm weak in other things. So it's really about, owning that piece of yourself and being able to be an integrated self of like, I'm not weak here, 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 here. Here I am. So what? We are perfect. We were born perfect. We're going to be perfect. We're more weak than we want to look at. And we stay weak because we won't look at it. So if you need further support, again, you and I can do our one-on-one. But I think, it's about you're making that commitment. You're getting to support system, and you're having that, momentary interception where that impulse to have that one, it's only one. You don't have to worry about anything else. It's just that first one. And creating a space for you to get help to not take that one. So I'm going to open up to the group, and perhaps Cody might want to share something.
That was the
Yeah. It's
Look at him.
I mean, the chemical addiction. I have to defer because it's not something I'm familiar with, and I realize that's a big part of it. Definitely. But yeah, the impulse control. Catching those impulses, finding those triggers. I just need a meal. I want to smoke. I just woke up. I want to smoke. I'm going to go to bed. I want to smoke. Like all those things, and just seeing that, being aware of that, and because you're not aware of them until you don't give into them. If you give into the impulses, you never notice the impulse because it's just like, you don't catch the thought. It's just like, oh, I want a cigarette. Okay, I'm going to smoke. And man, that's been really powerful for me to be aware of that.
Do you want to give him a little background?
Background is I'm a habitual marijuana smoker for many, many years. I took one break about a year ago for 3 months. That was not even something I planned. It just happened, and so I'm in the middle right now of my first intentional. I'm just not gonna smoke pot for a little bit. See how that goes. And yeah, I mean, definitely, I understand you're dealing with the chemical thing, which is tough. But man, that's really powerful to become aware of those impulses and catch them. And even just asking that question, just the awareness of the impulse, because man, I wasn't aware of my impulses. It was The only time I'd be aware of them is if I had to, as if I didn't have any pot, you know.
So let me interrupt for a minute. So the chemical, generally, depending on whatever drug it is, it's a few days to, a week, 10 days max. So the chemical is never the reason. The chemical is the first difficult one for the first 10 days, let's say. It's the psychological, it's the triggers of the environment and the actions, of smoking when I am, when I'm going to have a cup of coffee, or smoking if I'm going to go to a club, or smoking whatever. It's recognizing that it's the psychological triggers, and those are the moments where you want to kind of become aware and choose at that moment, I'm not going to do it this one time. I also want to really just bring out and just, you're being kind of calm about this, Cody, but to be clear, you have smoked pot every day of your life, except for that one break, since you're a teenager.
Yeah, almost 22 years.
I'm just to get perspective here in terms of psychological addiction, right? So almost 22 years, except for one time break. And you last Tuesday was it?
Yeah.
Tuesday, right? Yeah, last Tuesday I made a request. Can you just stop for a week? And you said okay. And now you're almost a week. Tomorrow is a week. And what have you learned, and how you've come to see yourself, and the level of witness and awareness, and creating space and choice.
Yeah.
So I just want to emphasize the challenge that you had, and how are you meeting it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the psychological thing is huge. It's been such an ingrained part of my life. And especially around work. Weed has the psychoactive effect, so I don't smoke during work. But when I finish work, end of the day, man, it's like that's my time to. Oh wait, hold on, housekeeping's here. No, thank you.
It's my time for housekeeping.
Yeah, housekeeping, man, I gotta smoke a joint. But man, some of those are really powerful. I find at the end of the day one, the work one's a big one. And it's, a lot of it is stress management, and the weed thing too, there's an escape factor for sure. Have to face some stuff, but cigarettes can be an escape too. It's
Absolutely.
Whether it's a physical, like I'm going to go outside, like leave the situation, or just like it's I'm nervous about something and this takes my mind off it. I've noticed I've kind of just got to be with stuff a little more. It'll be more present with stuff, and yeah, things are coming up. I'm like I was saying before, and Eric and I were talking yesterday about that mental and emotional disconnect, and that one's coming up. That one's coming up pretty big, like that. Things that I wasn't even aware of being in denial about, It's a really interesting thing, the fact that we're humans and there's all these different substances, different plants on this planet that grow here that affect our brain. Crazy. And there's a lot of them. A lot of them could be really useful tools, but man, everything has everything is prone to be abused. I mean, tobacco was a holy sacrament for Native Americans, you know, that would be used in pipe ceremonies and was a way to connect to the earth and you know, and it's been bastardized by tobacco companies, turned into a huge moneymaker, and you know, its addictive properties have been. I mean, really, right now you're a victim of a serious plot to make money, to exploit the addictive factors of tobacco, and you know, I mean.
Yeah, but I wanna interrupt that.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going up.
No, but it's
It's 11:35.
oh my
And
god.
so I just wanted to give you those.
Okay, let's finish this thought. It's late already. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that we understand the plot can work because there is this space where we are not being authentic, where we're not being real, where we're not being self-expressed. When we have this void, when something is wrong, when something is pained, and we don't have the venue in which to communicate authentically and, you know, really transparently with each other. And so that's why all these drugs are, you know, ultimately become addictive. It's because they protect us, they medicate us from the pain and the suffering and the sorrow and the disconnect and all of these things that is human. So, the plot can only work when there is a fertile environment in which there is a need for it. And that's the biggest issue. And the way to be able to free ourselves from any and all of these drugs as addictive and rather possibly, you know, as medicine in the appropriate time or, you know, some kind of ritual is if we heal that part of ourselves that's not longing to be covered up and not, you know, exposed. So I just want to make sure we understand the cause of the addiction and not blame the addiction. Without the cause, the addiction is not necessary. So if we love ourselves, we're open, we're free, we're transparent, we're connected, we're self-expressed, and we feel a contribution on the planet, then we don't need the drug to numb us from anything that lives inside of us. We actually are, you know, overflowing with creativity and joy and love. So it's late. I want to thank you, Gabriel.
I want to close just with Gabriel. We can pick up this conversation later, but Gabriel, since you're doing work for me as sort of the technical director of what you're doing, I just want to ask, in addition to, you know, and you can call me if you're looking for that cigarette.
Yeah, as long as you have this conversation.
Yeah, but just think about what else can I do to minimize that cycle. The real thing here is your performance anxiety and your perfectionism, and I'm the one that your brain thinks it needs to be perfect for. So I want thinks. It's not true, but I want to know what else I can do, and let's have this conversation to support you in this, because I'd really like to diminish that, or help you diminish that.
Thanks a lot, David. Thanks a lot, guys. And Cody, you too. Thanks for sharing that. I can relate to everything, obviously.
It plays into the stuff I'm going through right now. You know, so.
Very good, Cody.
Thanks.
And if you, Gabriel, if you need a broad reach out to everyone, is he part of the WhatsApp group? Are you part of the?
He's on WhatsApp.
You have the bat signal. You have direct access to everyone here. Just WhatsApp. Yo, I need help. There's like a whole bunch of people there that can instantly give you support. So that's your bat signal.
All right, cool.
I would love to introduce the concept of the metaphysical cigarette. You inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. And that is a really great, perfectly natural bliss. So any moment you get the impulse, man, I love that. It's a breathing exercise. Just like much love.
Physical cigarette.
Yeah, we actually do that a lot. That's a very good one.
Cool.
So, what are you feeling right now? You just witnessed a group of individuals sharing their innermost thoughts and feelings with each other without any fear of judgment or criticism. Imagine if all of us in the world would be able to be ourselves, share ourselves authentically without fear of being judged or criticized. Imagine if you, in your family, with your friends, your colleagues, were able to be fully yourself, we would really discover how amazing we are. I invite you to share this with anyone that you feel would benefit from this experience. Let us all be love together.